Eric Stormer, Cindy Dole, this is Home Wizards, where we love to help wherever you live. Just make it feel and look better because, life is too short, and we find those ways that we improve your home and improve your life. Thanks for hanging with us. We are at this place called the Dwell on Design event. If you have ever read or subscribed to Dwell magazine, you have a sense of what we're talking about. How would you describe it?
I would say that they take the concept of modern architecture and design and make it usable and integratable in your life where it doesn't feel like it's out of reach.
And as we were just talking with Michaela, the publisher of Dwell magazine, it's not how it looks, but how it feels and how it relates to nature. So really, in a very simple way, we can all have this lifestyle. And so we wanted to share with you the best of what we've discovered here. There's all different kinds of brands, from landscape to architecture to products and so forth. And with us is a guy whose product is dated in 60 years of history. Garage doors that are frankly just stunning. Rob Reyes with BP Glass. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Rob.
So,
how you doing?
60 years old,
Yes.
And it all started with gas stations.
That's correct. The company's originally founded by Bryce Parker. That's where the BP comes from. So we started out building gas stations for all the major petroleum companies in California and Arizona and Nevada. And these are the gas station doors. When they had mechanic bays, or lube bays as they were called, same doors. Since there's not a whole lot of mechanic bays anymore at the gas stations, we've taken them out and brought them to new uses. Architects are incredible in integrating these designs in restaurants, bars, bar tops, office spaces, retail storefronts, and not just for garages anymore.
And why?
And you know what I love about it too? It opens up the fourth wall, and you can then completely have the outside in, inside out.
That's right.
And
they can't see you necessarily. You can have it.
but not only that, but you think about a garage, an old school garage where they used to repair automobiles. So if that's your house, you open these doors up, and all of a sudden your walls are gone. You know what I mean? I just think it's such a great way to design a home.
And why would a gas station want to have that type of a door anyway?
As far as a glass garage door,
right.
It was just for to allow light in. You were talking about that earlier.
Same concept.
We have all kinds of different glass now. I mean, it's not just clear glass anymore. There's colors like white, green, gray. There's insulated glass, tempered glass, or laminated glass. And they all have different types of uses.
And you were sharing with me that you are probably the only glass garage door company that has the special energy seal, right?
That is correct.
Because of your technology. So explain that.
That's correct. Over the last 6-7 years, we've been developing a lot of research and development for an NFRC-rated glass garage door. The NFRC is the National Fenestration Rating Council. They're basically the governing body that certifies products for use in homes and office buildings, wherever. Basically, where there's a window or a door, it has to be architecturally tested and in laboratory under certain conditions for air infiltration, air leakage, water infiltration, that sort of thing. And what makes it energy efficient beside those two things is heat transfer. And
so what you're saying is this door can actually be an insulated wall.
That's correct.
Oh my goodness!
Isn't that great?
Are you kidding me?
And BP Glass Garage Doors has this only patent, this worldwide patent actually. We've been waiting for a very long time. And the NFRC has what architects can go to is referred to as a Certified Products Database, or a CPD.
Right.
And so when you have an architect or designer or an energy analyst now, when you're permitting or designing a new home or an office space or whatever, it has to have now in California, every state has its own version of it, but in California we call it Title 24. That's basically our energy code. In Florida it might be something else. But bottom line is the entire United States subscribes to this new energy code, and anything that's newly built has to subscribe to it.
So if you were to have one of these garage doors on your garage, it's going to now save with your utility bill?
Well, if it's mostly the garage doors that we have different lines. We have a California line, which is basically for just use of garages. Most garages don't have air conditioning or heating. So, but we did develop, because architects have been asking it for years, where there's air conditioning or heating in a certain space. Now, a lot of people are converting their garages into an office or a playroom for their kids, a gym. Excellent idea.
Right.
Where the idea kind of slowly developed when architects were designing lofts.
Right.
Sure.
And so that's where it kind of came from. You have this very garage industrial type of feel, and they wanted just a movable wall. So it's a great concept, but if it doesn't meet the energy codes, leaks air, leaks water, what's the point?
Not so much.
Exactly. There's people out there doing it with insulated glass. They'll say, oh yeah, our garage door has insulated glass. Well, that's great and fine and dandy, but it doesn't meet code because there's air leaking through there and there's water leaking through there.
So does this door have gaskets on it or something? Or how's that work?
Our patented technology is not just insulated glass. It's a fully insulated frame.
Okay.
That is more important.
So when the door closes, it seals on the top and the side.
It's not just all the perimeter weather gasketing that typically you see on garages. Yeah. Our technology has to do with it's integrated within the frames themselves. All of the hollow voids, let's say they're extruded tubes, they're all insulated, and there's tongue and groove technology.
And what about where the door meets the frame?
That is where we have also the perimeter weather seals, as you see, as standard. Okay. But those are insignificant in comparison to the fully insulated frame.
And then what about the R rating? Is there?
That's an excellent point. Yeah. A lot of we get calls all the time from contractors. Mostly, they're used to doing walls, so they think of that Pink Owens Corning insulation. That's R value, right? We're talking about glass, like glass storefronts.
Yep.
And so R has an inverse relationship, and it's called a U value when you're talking about glass. So those R and U have an inverse relationship, and that's what the architects are looking for, a U value when it comes to glass.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so efficient and a good possibility.
And is there the PG-13 value in there too, or no? Oh, that's different.
That's right. That's different, yeah.
If we were just shopping for a garage door, give us a sense, because you guys have been doing this for a long time.
Yes.
And there's a lot of different choices out there.
There are.
What should we be thinking about? Give us some pointers in terms of how do we know a garage door is up to muster, or it's cheap, or value, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, today there's a big conversation there, actually, a perception of value versus what you're actually getting. The cheapest price doesn't always necessarily mean you're getting a good product. Nowadays, it actually means the opposite. Because we are factory direct. BP is one of the only factory direct garage door companies out there. We ship worldwide. We need to know that it's not just us installing it in California, Arizona, Nevada. We're shipping it worldwide. We have to think about product liability. We have a lifetime warranty, and that means that we have thicker wall extrusions. That means that we manufacture our own laser cut stainless steel hinges. That means we manufacture our own rollers that are sealed for life. Also,
so others aren't doing that?
No.
Are there a lot of bad garage door companies?
There are a lot of the.
What's a warning sign that this is a cheap garage door?
Well,
where the guy goes, y'all want a garage door?
That's a really good one. That's an excellent point. Well,
he has no teeth. You mean?
No teeth. Yeah.
That's a good one. I look for a lifetime warranty versus your standard 1-year warranty that's out there, and that's a big sign. Especially in these days, things are imported. Parts like the hinges and the rollers,
really?
And the springs and a lot of these materials.
So you guys are American made.
All American made.
We like that.
That's right.
And so if I were to install this as a wall, a movable wall, if I shut this door, would the efficiency of my dwelling be efficient in terms of what a traditional wall would be?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh my
that's
God.
That's what I was telling you about that NFRC.
This is amazing.
So it could be like a living room barrier if you wanted.
That's correct.
Now can the windows, when the thing's closed, are there vented windows when the unit's closed itself?
They can be integrated, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. Like I said, there's insulated glass, there's laminated glass, there's tempered glass, and depending on the use.
Right.
So if it's just for your garage, let's give you some examples.
Okay.
If it's just for your garage, well, again, there's no air conditioning or heating inside of there. So I would suggest laminated glass or tempered glass.
Okay.
If you're going to do the live workspace, let's call it, like a loft or a restaurant or something like that, then I would go with insulated glass.
Okay.
If, for example, we're going to go to Florida, we're the only glass garage door that has this Miami Dade NOA. We're really proud of it. It's taken us 6 years to get it.
Yeah.
It's basically they shoot a 2x4 at it at 34 miles an hour, and when you pass all these tests, cyclical,
you mean
static,
that's like hurricane?
Exactly, not just hurricane, but impact. So there's wind speeds. Our doors has a wind speed of 160 miles an hour.
What about earthquake resistance?
That's where, we've got 60 years of that here in California, so it's tested really well with our laminated glass.
Okay, so we are in need of a garage, and we live in a California 1950s ranch.
You need a new door, by the way.
We did a new garage door.
Really
it's an old wooden, terrible.
Yeah,
but our home is 1950s ranch. Would a glass, beautiful garage door work with our home style?
Absolutely.
And doesn't that have to be? You want to have that sense of continuity, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And we get this question asked of us very frequently.
Yeah.
And it's not just modern. That's what we like to say.
Because the perception is.
It is. The perception.
Sleek,
First perception is,
look at this,
a
for
glass
example.
garage door, you can see through there. That's the first perception. We tell them, no, obscured glass. Again, you're in control of the design.
Good.
So you were saying?
But look, here's an example of a door with traditional brick and stuff. It looks really cool, doesn't it? It would work in your house.
You can powder coat the frames. We can Kynar the frames.
So you can customize the look so it doesn't necessarily have to be like an Asian fusion door for my Mediterranean home or whatever it is. If you have an Asian style, you can get that or whatever.
Is that wood?
Everyone asks that, Eric. That's actually a simulated wood powder coat.
You could have that in your house.
Exactly. So it's aluminum frame. See, that's the thing. We do a lot of homes that are on the ocean, so there's the salt air that we got to deal with all along the western and eastern seaboard.
Love it.
It's aluminum frames, and they're recycled aluminum, by the way.
But they are made to look like whatever we need.
Exactly. You can powder coat them to a simulated wood that looks ridiculously real.
Awesome.
Love it.
What is your website so people can find you?
It's glassgaragedoors.com, and we are factory direct and ship worldwide. And we do our own installations.
Thank you, Rob
as well.
Reyes. Okay, I think you have to come to my house.
Thanks, Rob Reyes.
I know a guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Home Wizards continues. We're having some fun here, talking about all the neat ways that you can be modern. It's all about a lifestyle. It isn't about the look or the structure of your home, regardless of where you live.
And not only that, but you can integrate all these styles together effectively.
You can.
So it's not like one or the other.
Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, Home Wizards, where we love to help improve your home and improve your life.